Hey guys, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Christine.
And this is This Week in Vegas,
The Ninth Island Connection podcast, where we bring you everything that's happening this week in Vegas.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we're talking news, weather, events, our experiences, all that good stuff about what's going on in Vegas. So let's get to it, starting with the news. And we're actually going to start with some deals, which we don't really get to talk about deals very often.
Yeah, we don't talk about deals on this platform so much. We're in our Instagram, on TikTok, we're always sharing like happy hour specials and buy one, get ones and all that kind of stuff. So we figured why not incorporate that here as well? Because you're watching this because you're probably planning a trip to Vegas. So we want to share some of the discounts and deals so that you can save a couple bucks to put towards something else, whether it's gambling, food, a show, whatever it is. We're going to help you save some money here in Vegas.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, Vegas is expensive.
Yes.
I mean, there are ways to save, and so let's get to those ways to save. There was a deal I saw, it was on Travel Zoo. I get email alerts from Travel Zoo on Vegas, of course. TravelZoo.com is a website. They are not sponsoring this at all. It's just something that we actually use and have used for years to save money on things. They have discounts on hotel stays, attractions, shows, things like that. So they have this deal on the Strat thrill rides. They have for $18.45, that gives you tower admission, which typically it's about $37. So you're
about 50% off.
Yeah, so that's a good deal. And for $34.45, you get tower admission plus unlimited rides on the thrill rides, and that pass is regularly $57.95. So again, that's a great savings there. And you just have to go to TravelZoo.com and purchase it through there, and then you're able to use it through the Strat. They give you all the instructions of how to use it. Very straightforward and simple.
I've done all of the rides at the Strat, and they're a lot of fun, and it's really just something different to do while you're in Vegas. So if you can save some money doing something a little bit different, check out that side of the Strip. It's a win-win.
Yeah, and they're actually, they're fun for all ages. If you're into the thrill seeking. I've done them. I didn't need to do them again, but it's a fun time. It's definitely a fun time. So there's a way to save on that. And actually also at the Strat, through the Strat's website, you can get 50% off tower admission if you're a local. So you just need to have that local ID. So that's nice that they're doing something for everybody, but also for the locals.
And it's Nevada, not just Las Vegas local. So a Nevada identification, you get that discount.
Yep. And another thing they're actually doing for locals is free cabanas at the Palms.
Yes, which is awesome because one of the things that we talk about year after year is how when you go to a pool in Vegas, and it seems like at least the last 5 summers, every single summer, there are fewer free chairs and more beds, day beds, queen size beds, cabanas, just all kinds of stuff that encroach on the free bed space, and those little free beds are gone. So a lot of times we wind up just sitting on the edge of the pool, which is fine because that's where we're going to spend our time anyway. But the cabanas are everywhere and they're crazy expensive.
Yes, they are.
If you have a party of 5, 6, 7 and you're splitting the cost for the day, perfect. But if it's just one person or a couple people, it could be a pretty big investment for just one day in Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. And the Palms itself is such a nice property. They did a remodel back in, I want to say 2018, 2019 they were remodeling, and then they changed ownership. And now, it is beautiful. There's so many dining options there. The rooms are just crazy nice.
They've redone everything.
Yeah, and it's really worth, if you're staying on the Strip or downtown, it's worth actually taking a little drive over there, jumping in a Lyft, Uber, taxi, whatever your preference is, and heading over to the Palms. It's beautiful.
Or even driving. Yeah. Parking is free at Palms.
That's true.
Which is a rarity in Vegas. So parking is free over there. So really, if you have a car, rental, whatever, it's not going to cost you anything to head down there and just check it out.
True. Very true. And then next door, the Rio has an announcement. They have a new show. We talked in our podcast last week about how the Chippendales, who were at the Rio forever, left the Rio and went over to the Link, and they had their special over at the Link, partnering with Chayo for their brunch and ticket shows. But the Rio has a new show. It sounds like a replacement show, maybe.
This one is burlesque, so it definitely seems like it's adults only.
I would hope so.
I mean, it's a burlesque show, and it's a Star Wars theme, and apparently this is the Empire Strikes Back theme, but it is burlesque and it's a parody at the same time.
It's Empire Strips Back.
Empire Strips
Empire
Back,
Strips
which
Back.
is the parody.
Ooh. Naughty.
Which I feel like there's only one woman in Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
So who's all stripping? We've never seen the show. It's not even out yet. The show premieres on May 5th. It is a traveling show, so May 5th we know is the first date. We don't know how long it's going to be there. That hasn't been determined. We know that it's not a permanent show because, full disclosure from them, it is a traveling show.
Yeah, so you'll have to check their website on the Rio and see what they have happening for Empire Strips Back.
Oh, and the best thing, tickets start at just like $40.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's a great deal for a show in Vegas.
Yeah, and just kind of like we were talking about with the Palms, the Rio is also, with new ownership, undergone a complete renovation throughout the casino, most of the rooms, the pool, the eateries. I mean, it's really trying hard. It's trying to come back and be what it used to be back in the day, when you would actually make the trip out there. Even wherever you were staying, you always made the trip to the Rio to get that seafood buffet.
And we did all the time.
Yeah.
And they put over $100 million into that property, so they've done a lot of work.
Yeah, it's really nice. And it's walkable. The Rio and the Palms are walkable. It's a little bit of a walk, and I wouldn't do it by yourself. I'd definitely use the buddy system, because that area between Rio and Palms can be a little shady at times, but walkable between the two. So, if you take a Lyft or Uber out there, you can kind of do a 2-for-1 and see both properties.
Now, heading down to another property that's gotten some press, not always the best press, but the property itself is actually doing a lot to attract locals and frequent Vegas visitors to the property. And they have done a lot in that property. It's absolutely beautiful what they've done in there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful property. There's tons of different restaurants that are great. There's entertainment. You've got the Divas show there. That's Frank Marino's show, which is such a fun show. I know we've talked about that in a previous podcast. But there's reasons to go out to Virgin. I know it's not, on the beaten path of the Strip, but there are reasons to head out there, and here's another one.
They're doing a tier match right now. They just launched a brand new rewards program, and it's Cherry.
Oh, jeez.
You like that?
It's Cherry. The program is Cherry Rewards. Cherry Rewards. It's their new tier program for the casino, and they're actually doing a tier match, which means that
whatever your rewards program tier is at any Caesars or MGM, which is the largest, but there are some other ones. TI has their own. Best Western has their own. CWIN has their own. So, and even Venetian has their own. So whatever your tier, just bring your card over there and they're going to match you to whatever that level is with them. And you start receiving the benefits immediately, which is pretty awesome. And that is going to last through September 5th. So get on down there if you're going to be in Vegas before September 5th. Take a trip out to Virgin, which is the whole point of this, right? They want to get eyeballs and get people in this property to check it out. So I'm sure there are going to be some perks for first-time signups, like a lot of the properties do. We're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to report right back here as soon as we tier match with them.
Yeah, because that would be great if we can get Diamond Plus status.
Whatever that
is, because they are dog-friendly.
Yes.
So we can, maybe do a little staycation there. That would be crazy.
Absolutely.
Not staying at a Caesars or MGM property. What?
We're going to still visit Caesars and MGM.
That's true. That's true. All right, moving on. Ferraro's Restaurante. They are a family-owned and operated restaurant. They are celebrating 40 years in Vegas, and that's huge. It's a great restaurant. If you're not familiar with it, it's just off the Strip. It's in that strip mall where what's back there, like Shaq's Big Chicken or whatever.
Shaq's Chicken is back there.
Yeah, and like a CVS and
Yep.
yeah, but
It's close to it's really close to the Strip.
yeah, it's a very quick Lyft, Uber, taxi.
Yep.
Or if you have a vehicle to drive there, but it's family owned. It's just the food is amazing, the atmosphere is amazing. They're known for like their extensive wine list. It's just,
Well, they have like the
yeah.
largest Italian wine list
Yeah.
in Vegas. They've got over 200 wines from
Yeah.
Italy in the restaurant.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't talk a ton about food on our channel. We're not that channel that is, the foodie channel.
There's so many great foodie channels out there, though, guys.
There are. I mean, don't get me wrong, we enjoy food, but if you go to Ferraro's, save room for dessert. They have this pistachio cake. I don't remember the name of it, but it is so
heaven.
amazing. It's so amazing. Just got to put that out there. But congratulations to Ferraro's. We had them on the show. Chef Nemo, their executive chef.
Who's the son?
Yeah, he's the son. Yes, he took
The dad
over.
started the restaurant.
Yeah, and he grew up
40
in it.
years ago.
Yeah.
And he grew up in this restaurant, and
Yeah.
he actually lived in Italy for many years, training as a chef,
Yeah.
specializing in just Italian cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they do. You're not going to find like a side hamburger menu or anything.
Nope.
It's all Italian and absolutely delicious.
Yeah, so if you're looking to get off the Strip, try something different that's excellent, definitely recommend that restaurant, Ferraro's.
And reservations. You're going to want to make reservations for this
sure.
place.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got some sad news.
Westgate founder David Siegel has passed away just over the weekend at 89, or last weekend at 89 years old. He did a lot. Check out his Wikipedia. You'll be absolutely amazed at how much he contributed to Las Vegas.
Yes, yeah. And actually the Westgate, I mean, that's a really nice property.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you can get to it. It's not on the Strip, but you can get to
It's a
it
monorail
through the
stop.
monorail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a monorail stop. And it's a really nice casino.
And we don't just talk about these properties, guys. We've eaten there. We've
Yeah.
brought family there. We've gone to shows at Westgate. We've gambled at Westgate, of course. We've taken the monorail there. We've driven there. We've lifted there. We've been there many times.
Yeah.
And it is definitely a property worth checking out. It's a little bit slower speed than the Strip. But you know what? I don't mind that sometimes.
It's a great break. It's one of those things.
And
that,
it's really nice. The customer service is phenomenal. Really, just everything about it is great.
Yeah, I do like Westgate. All right. Wrapping up our news with a couple jackpots here.
Yes, congratulations to these guys.
Right over at Samstown, which if you're not familiar with Samstown, it's a void property, and it's probably, would you say, about 10 minutes off of the Strip?
Yeah, depending on traffic,
Yeah.
and that's the thing
10,
with
15,
Vegas.
yeah.
It really just depends on traffic, but it's right on Boulder Highway, so it's pretty much a straight shot
Yeah,
to get there.
it's an interesting property. They have tons of bowling alleys. They're kind of known for
A movie
that.
theater.
Yeah, it's more of like a locals casino. But
Yeah.
somebody there was playing Texas Hold'em, and they won a jackpot that was $28,952, and that was on the Royal Flush
Yes.
in their hand. But they did a side bet, which is the blind, and they won an additional $5,000. So
Huge.
that's
Congratulations.
nice. Yep. And then last but not least, we have another jackpot,
Oh, over at Main Street Station.
another Boyd property.
Another Boyd property.
Boyd's not paying us. They should though.
Nobody pays us. But I mean, we've talked about this briefly, and we know firsthand that there are properties because they've told us. Management has told us that they don't like to show off their winners because then other properties will have VIP hosts and that stuff. We're not VIPs. We don't have hosts. We're not at that level where there are properties trying to poach us, but apparently it happens.
Yeah.
People will see like Christine won $100,000 at Main Street Station, and you see her and her name all over social media, and immediately they've got people trying to find Christine to get her contact information to say, hey, come stay over at Sebstown, that would be my casino, and I'm gonna comp you a room for a week. I'm gonna give you, $1,000 in free play and give you free food just to have her come spend some of that money that she's won at my property, and hopefully she's going to promote me on her social media. Like, last time I was here, I won $100,000. Now I'm at Sebstown, and that's going to help me. So properties don't want that to happen. They want Christine to stay at Sebstown if she comes to Sebstown and wins, right? So this is just what we know, and I'm sure there are people that win all up and down the strip. As a matter of fact, why don't you guys comment below, what is your largest jackpot that you've won in Vegas and where? I'm sure everybody watching this, including us, would like to know that.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the actual jackpot?
Oh, let me get to the jackpot now. It's like sidebar. I turn left.
Tangents, the king of tangents.
I turn left constantly.
Okay.
Eyes on the wheel.
Bringing it back to the jackpots.
Main Street Station, somebody won $15,785 playing one of our favorite games, Dragon Link.
So it can be done.
It can be done. People do win. I see people winning on that. And Huff and Puff.
Yes.
My nemesis all the time. Manifesting it.
Yep. All right, moving on from news into the weather. This is what you can expect for weather this week in Vegas. This is kind of that weird time where you can expect anything from mid to upper 70s to mid to upper 90s. I mean, and everything in between. It's kind of just, that's April. You never know what you're gonna get. But
the cold is behind us.
Yeah, the cold is behind us. But there's still that cold drop. It's at least, a 20-degree drop overnight. So mornings are a little chilly. Evenings can be a little chilly, at least chilly in our standards. Not for everybody. There's some people who are still rocking t-shirts and shorts 24/7. That's not us.
No.
I need a jacket at night and in the mornings, but it's perfect for pool time and for getting out and about. On the strip, there's the Link Promenade, which is a great place to be outside. The park over by New York, another great area to be outside and just take a break from the casinos and get some fresh non-casino air. And then there's so many different dining areas on the strip, just up and down the strip that have outdoor dining.
And one of the areas that I talk about all the time is the Arts District. Now there's different parts of town that are great to explore as well. There's downtown Summerlin, there's Boca Park area, Tivoli Village.
Yeah, but those aren't as close to the strip.
Right.
We're
so
talking
I like to talk about
the strip and downtown.
I'd like to talk about the Arts District because it's so accessible from the strip. I mean, you can literally walk from the Strat into the Arts District.
Yeah.
You can do that. And the city's doing a lot of work in between the Strat and what is, on a map, the beginning of the Arts District. They're doing a lot of work there to kind of close that gap. That's why I talk about it so much, because it's accessible and it is a pretty good mix, probably 50-50 locals and tourists. So you really get to see where people that live in Vegas kind of hang out and have a beer, watch a hockey game, whatever the case may be, live music, doing a little shopping at some antique shops.
Yeah,
all of that is right there. And it's super walkable. I mean, it is walkable.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, if you're a beer lover, it's the place to go because there's so many different breweries. There's different bars that are down there that are a lot of fun and just really just not what you're going to see on the strip. There is the retail, like you mentioned, but the food, there's restaurants with just great prices and great food. It's really worth jumping in a Lyft, Uber. You know what? I feel like Lyft and Uber should sponsor. I mean, every time I feel like I say Lyft and Uber, take a Lyft and Uber. They should
actually,
be sponsoring us.
Real fast, and this is not a sponsorship, there's an organization in Vegas, Zero Fatalities, and if you follow us on Instagram, Ninth Island Connection, I do post coupons for Lyft that is like $5 off, $10 off a ride during certain weekends, like First Fridays and different events that they
holidays,
have. When they have those, they send me the coupons for us to share on our channel, Ninth Island Connection. So follow us on Ninth Island Connection. I do post those rideshare coupons when they send them, and they do not pay us for this. I just feel like you should just not drink and drive.
Right.
Just don't drink and drive. And in Vegas, there's so many taxis and Lyfts and Ubers and the bus. There's so many ways to get around town. Your feet, right? When I was a kid, I called it foot patrol. Hit that foot patrol and get on down the sidewalk. But the Arts District is so close that when you do the rideshare, it's inexpensive.
Yes, but don't walk there. Don't walk
from like Flamingo to the Arts District. That's going to be a long day for you.
Yeah, if you're staying at the Strat, you can walk there.
Yes.
If you're staying anywhere else, don't walk there.
Yes.
Because it is an area that's being revitalized, but it's not quite there yet. And some places are a little
hit and miss.
Yeah. Another place that's great for the outdoors, especially if you're staying down in the Fremont Street area, is the Downtown Container Park. That's kind of the opposite end of Fremont Street as the Fremont Street Experience. So it's probably what, like a 5-10 minute walk if you're walking really slow.
Depending on what your pace and how many cocktails you're looking to have on the way there.
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, East Fremont Street is great. It's full of different bars and restaurants. And then the Container Park is more of a family-friendly.
A lot of locals.
Yeah, a lot of locals hang out there. They have different events, different music sometimes on the weekends. And it's just really cool. Lots of different retail there, restaurants, places to grab a drink. And be outside as well while we're in that sweet spot of good weather.
And it's free and family friendly.
Yeah.
So like Christine mentioned, they do have live music, they have entertainment, they have different things there, and it's absolutely free. Totally worth it.
Yep. All right, moving into the events. Here's what's happening this week in Vegas when it comes to events. First up, we've got the B-52s back at the Venetian. They're gonna be there on the 16th, 18th, and 19th.
And I've never seen them in person, but I did catch them on that SNL special. And they're rocking. Like, they're still killing it.
Yeah, they haven't changed much.
Yeah, it's no wonder that they keep making their way back to Vegas.
Yep.
Then we have over at Cosmopolitan, Biba Doobie's going to be there on the 16th.
That's a fun name to say. Biba Doobie. Biba Doobie.
Biba Doobie.
All right. Dead & Company back at the Sphere on the 17th through the 19th.
Got Attack on Titan at Virgin Hotels, we were talking about earlier, that has the status match. They're going to be there on the 18th.
All right, and for comedy, we've got Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias over at the Cosmopolitan on the 17th, and Chelsea Handler at the Cosmopolitan on the 18th. So the Cosmopolitan, if you're looking for a laugh, that's the place to go, I guess.
Yeah, they have a lot of comedy. Cedric the Entertainer and Tony Braxton do their thing over there, like Love and Laughter.
Yeah, they have tons of comedians.
There's a lot of comedy that happens over there at Cosmo.
Yeah.
If you're looking for some sports, we've got you covered. We got the Aviators at home at the Las Vegas Ballpark on the 15th through the 20th, and that's right in downtown Summerlin area. That's perfect to just make a day of it. There's food. You've got Red Rock for some gambling and more food. You've got the retail in downtown Summerlin area, along with some restaurants. There's a Trader Joe's over there for all your Trader Joe's cookie butter fans over there. You can get that for them too.
Yeah, so definitely worth the trip out there then.
Absolutely. But it's great to make a day of it, especially this time of year. The weather's just perfect to be outside.
Yeah. And then the Henderson Silver Knights are at the Lee's Family Forum out in Green Valley in Henderson, and that's on the 19th. And then the big event happening this weekend, it's wrestling. It's like Wrestle Weekend here in Vegas. I mean, it's like wrestling has taken over Vegas.
Yes.
That's why I think there's not as many other concerts and comedians, because they know that, they're not going to be able to compete.
Weekend. This is like the F1 of wrestling.
Yeah.
When F1 comes to town in November, there's really not a lot else going on because F1 just dominates Vegas. Well, if you're a wrestling fan, back in my day, it was WWF.
WWF was where it was at.
That was it. Now and then they split off, and now it's WWE is everything. So you've got WrestleCon happening at the Westgate on the 18th, and we talked about the Westgate a little bit. WWE Hall of Fame at Fontainebleau on the 18th. Beautiful property.
So are those more like memorabilia, like for wrestling fans to check out all types of things?
I don't know. Well, WrestleCon is. WrestleCon, that's like meet and greets, that's selfies, that's that kind of stuff. WWE Hall of Fame, not 100% what they're going to be doing there, but that's over at Fontainebleau. That's a different event altogether. That's also on the 18th. And then another one on the 18th, this is a big one for the 18th, you've got WWE SmackDown happening at T-Mobile Arena. That's going to be huge. So all day the 18th is just wrestling all over Vegas. And then on the 19th, another day of full wrestling. You've got WWE Next, Stand and Deliver. That's also at T-Mobile Arena. You've got WrestleMania 41 at Allegiant Stadium, and that's a two-day event. That's the 19th and the 20th. And then, even more...
moving into the next week, my goodness.
You've got WWE Raw at T-Mobile Arena, and that's going to be on the 21st. So huge. If you're a wrestling fan, this is the place to be for all things WWE.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be an interesting weekend in Vegas.
Yes.
Yes.
Very interesting. I love WWE though because it really caters to the entire family.
Yeah.
There
I
are
mean, I
folks
went as a
like-
kid. My dad used to take me when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I loved WWF because I'm old. But
Yeah, they would take, I mean, that would be like us would bring children and family members to this because they're watching this next phase of well, what was WWF, now WWE. So that's just cool. It's going to be a really fun weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, all of the regular Vegas shows are still happening. Magicians, comedians, all the Cirque shows, all that good stuff, all still happening. So if you're in Vegas and wrestling's not your thing, or you're maybe taking a day off from wrestling, check out some of those shows as well. There's tons of great ones to see here.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on this one. If you made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You're interested in Vegas, you watch this video all the way through, which thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
For supporting our channel. Go ahead and subscribe, give this video a like, comment below. Like always, we want to hear from you guys. Don't forget to check out the description so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are, and follow us on social media. We're Instagramming, we're TikToking, we're Facebooking, we're threading. We're everywhere. We are Ninth Island Connection.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom and pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas. From Las Vegas entertainers and athletes to all of the exciting activities and experiences around the Vegas Valley, we keep our viewers connected with all of the excitement that the entertainment capital of the world has to offer. Of course, we can't forget about the casinos that make Vegas, Vegas, with exclusive tours of the incredible amenities and beautiful accommodations, getting right in the heart of the casino floor action and entertainment, as well as interviews with casino owners, CEOs, GMs, and executive chefs. We bring the Las Vegas Casino into our viewers' homes. Highlighting lesser-known areas like the Fremont East District, the Arts District, and Brewery Row, we bring attention to these small businesses that have become fast favorites in the local community. We bring our viewers a complete Vegas experience. We also invite our viewers along as we venture into the great outdoors of the Las Vegas Valley, sharing short road trips, hikes, and the unique sights found in the Mojave Desert. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.